Next on the agenda is our curriculum feature.
So this year we're going to be featuring our Teachers of the Year from our 9 schools, 9 great teachers. And we're starting out tonight with Laura Morris. Laura is a teacher at Claxton Elementary, 2nd grade teacher. She's been with us a couple of years. She has 5 years experience and was educated at Pfeiffer and Mercer, where she was magna cum laude and summa cum laude at those 2 places. So that tells us quite a bit about her work ethic. But she's a terrific teacher. We're delighted to have her at Claxton and in our district. And in just a moment, she'll come forward and tell you about Daily 5. A lot of us have heard about it. I don't think too many people know what we're talking about with Daily 5, so that's our feature tonight. But before we do that, Erin Hill and I had the pleasure of going into her classroom last Thursday morning, and we were going to show you a little 2-minute video clip so you get a feel for that classroom before Laura and her students come up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to go ahead and share what our next choice for Daily 5 is.
Usually every time we do this, we actually do it together, because usually we do it together. I barely even see anyone else doing read to someone with me. Okay, you read that because I'm
Don, Ash, and Brock are enjoying a night at the carnival.
He usually wants me because I have this book.
Wonder Central. It's basically where you have all these things that you can wonder about, like this and these.
Listening to the book, and it helps you learn more about things that you don't know.
Three trainers could figure out what happened to Wander.
I'm noticing a lot of you guys are doing a great job of spreading your choices out this week. It's going to really help you to be better readers and writers. Joseph. Good evening. Good evening. I hope you all are doing well. I am very excited to be here. Daily 5 is one of my favorite parts of the day. I look forward to it every morning, and the kids just really thrive through this program, so I'm very excited to talk about it. So Daily 5 is a structure for our literacy block, and it's not necessarily a curriculum in itself, the Daily 5. It's empowering kids to be independent and make choices for their learning. And so I have 5 wonderful helpers that are going to help me to walk through the Daily 5 structure with us today. It was actually invented by 2 lifelong teachers and their sisters, and they realized that they were spending a lot of their literacy block with classroom management and introducing new concepts, but not having time to really dive deep into them with kids one-on-one or in small group. So they developed these wonderful 5 learning opportunities for kids for them to be empowered to make choices for their learning. So we're going to walk through those today. Oh, good, you can see it behind me. I couldn't see it down here. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. So the Daily 5 structure, as you can see here, it begins with a focus lesson, and that's whole group on the carpet, and we're addressing whatever the Common Core standard is that we are focusing on for that time. And then the students go through a round of self-selected Daily 5, and those choices we'll go through in just a minute. During that time, I meet with small groups or confer one-on-one with children. And as you can see, there's a pattern. It begins with a focus lesson. There's a round of Daily 5 choice time for the kids. Then we come back for another focus lesson. There's another round of Daily 5, and then it keeps continuing on depending on the length of your literacy block. But that pattern is really important for children because they're able to predict each time, okay, I come to the carpet this way, I have a lesson here, and then I have a choice time. So it really does help with the management aspect of your classroom. If we continue on, we can actually take a closer look at the Daily 5 choices. And again, the sisters are really big on brain-based research, so they realize that children, especially young children that we're working with in the K-5 classrooms, really need those brief lessons that are full of some great content, but brief, to fit their needs. So that's what I love about this model is we start with the focus lesson, and then they have 5 great choices to choose from. These children are going to walk you through them a little bit closer, but the 5 Daily 5 choices are read to self, read to someone, listen to reading, word work, and work on writing. And in our classroom, as you may have seen, there was a child that was walking you through what we call the Wonder Center. And it's really just a wonderful way to encourage kids to wonder and think, and they explore a lot of nonfiction content in that area. All right, and the cafe strategies are also an important part of our Daily 5 model. This is where we actually get more into the content that we're covering. The sisters, the same sisters that I was speaking about before that came up with Daily 5 also came up with some really great strategies that the kids will see throughout their time in Asheville City Schools. They'll be using the same sort of language starting in kindergarten that they'll use all the way up through 5th grade with the Daily 5 model. And these are really, really wonderful components of reading. They break it down into what's called the CAFE model. So comprehension, accuracy, fluency, and expanded vocabulary. And as you can see in the pictures up here, this is actually not from my room, but what I love about Daily 5 is there's a very similar model no matter what classroom you go in. So as you can see, there's actually a girl in this picture that's reaching up high on the board, and she's goal setting. She's decided that she really needed to work on comprehension, so she's adding a sticky note up there. I love that about this model, that it really empowers the kids. And I'm actually currently meeting with my children, and we're reviewing our data from M-Class, and the kids are deciding which area they need to focus on the most, whether it's comprehension, accuracy, fluency, or expand vocabulary, and I'll be pulling them in strategy groups to address their needs. So I just think it's really powerful that they are able to identify the needs and then work together to accomplish their goals. And now I'm really excited because here's the fun part. You get to meet some of my children that are experts in the field, and they're going to come up and explain a little bit more about each of these Daily 5 options. So I would like to first introduce you to a wonderful 2nd grader named Fern, and Fern is going to teach us all about read to self.
Hello.
Hi, Fern.
Hello, my name is Fern. I am 7 years old, and I am here to tell you about Read to Self. It is a fun way to read and learn. That is my favorite. Read to Self. I like to read graphic novels. I love Read to Self. I will model Read to Self for you. And you sit alone and read the whole time.
So Fern's actually going to come down and demonstrate for you what Read to Self looks like. And as you can see, she's sitting down quietly. She's reading to herself. The children are introduced to what's called an eye chart at the beginning of the year. There are 15 lessons that we use to introduce the Daily 5 choices. And one of the first ones they learn about is Read to Self. And this is an example of an eye chart that we use in our classroom. It's really great for the kids because it's familiar to them. They know exactly what the expectations are every single time. They know what materials they're going to use, so there's no question involved. They know exactly what to do when it's time to get started. So she is reading the whole time. She's staying in one spot. She's reading quietly to respect others. She's getting started right away, and she's working on stamina. So great job, Fern. Good job, honey. All right. Up next, we have another wonderful 2nd grader. Her name is Elise. She's going to come and teach you all about Read to Someone.
My name is Elise. I'm going to demonstrate Read to Someone. Read to Someone helps you read with fluency because it will really help you later in your life, because if you are a teacher, you'll be reading with a lot of people. To read to someone, you sit elbow to elbow, knee to knee, book in the middle so you both can see. I'm going to demonstrate to you how to read to someone.
So as you can see, Elise and Fern got started right away. That's really important. That's part of our Daily 5 model. You find a spot, you get started right away. They're putting the book in the middle so they both can see it, and they take turns reading back and forth. And if you can't see from the back, one of the girls is actually holding a check for understanding. So the idea is that one student would be reading, and then the other student at the end of the page would then check for understanding by answering the questions that are on the check mark. So great job, girls. All right, up next we have another fabulous second grader, and her name is Jessica, and she's going to tell you all about listen to reading.
Hello, my name is Jessica. I am here to demonstrate listening to reading. Listening to reading models fluency. Fluency is the way we read without sounding like a robot.
Very good. Would you like to show me your iPad?
Let me show you.
Do you want to tell them what program we use?
The program that we use is Mayan. So on Mayan, the book reads to you instead of you reading the book. And it also helps if you don't know how to read, you can it will read to you instead of you reading the book.
That's great, honey. Thank you so much. Good job. We're very fortunate to have this technology in our classroom, and the kids really get into it, and it's actually a resource that they can continue to use at home. So it's just a really, we enjoy Mayan a lot, so thank you for that. All right, and up next, we have another fabulous second grader, of course, that's gonna teach you. Actually, she's doing two things for you. Evan's gonna first start by teaching you all about work on writing. All right, Evan, there you go, sweetheart.
Hello, my name is Evan. I'm going to demonstrate work on writing. It is fun because you get to write about anything you want. And best of all, you get to write a story as long as you want. Here is a list of things you can make. A letter, a book, a card, a newspaper, and a comic. This is my writing journal, and I'm gonna show you a story I made. This story is a story of the time I went to Disney World. One time I went to Disney World with my mom and dad. We had to fly on an airplane. When we got there, we rented an apartment at a hotel. Then we got used to it, so we went to the fun. We went on a roller coaster.
I'm so glad you chose this story, and I know some of you can't see way in the back, but one of the first lessons that we do with the kids for work on writing is about underlining words that you don't know how to spell. So again, we're really setting them up for success, kind of that management piece at the very beginning of the year. So that way, if I'm working with a small group or one-on-one with one of her peers, she's not gonna get stuck and say, ooh, Mrs. Morris, spell exciting for me, you know? She knows, hey, you know what? I'm gonna try my very best, I'm gonna tap it out. And then what do we do if we don't know?
We underline the word.
We underline the word. So it's really empowering them to still make excellent word choice, but they don't have to worry about, okay, I have to make this perfect. I have to go ask the teacher. I have the power to do it myself. Good job, honey. And she's actually, before you sat down, she's going to talk a little bit about word work as well, which is another choice.
I'm also going to talk about word work. We practice foundations words. We practice foundations words. We use dry erase boards, stamps, Play-Doh, and magnet letters.
Very good. And this is just an example. What are these right here?
These are stamps, and you'll have a sheet of paper, and you'll have different words you can do, and then there will be a sheet of paper on it where you can
stamp the words like stuffs, you could take the stamps and take the ink and use the S stamp and the T stamp and the U stamp and the F stamp, and then you would use the S stamp, and then when you were done with the word, you would mark it with a pencil.
That's exactly right. So it's a wonderful way to still continue to practice our foundations curriculum during Daily 5. So thank you so much, Evan. You did a great job. And last but certainly not least, we do a little bit of a Daily 5 plus one in my classroom. So I thought you guys might want a sneak peek of that one as well. Oliver is going to come and teach you guys all about the Wonder Center.
Hi, my name is Oliver. I am going to teach you about the Wonder Center. At the Wonder Center, people can read non-fiction books. I like to read about the galaxies. We rate our wonders in our notebook or on a leaf or our wonder tree. You can look at bugs, snakes, skin, seashells, and more.
Wow.
Thank you. And we just have a couple samples. This is a leaf that he was talking about. We have a tree in our classroom, don't we?
Yes.
That we hang it on. This is an example. Do you want to read that wonder that somebody wrote?
I wonder how fast a fish can swim.
Oh, that's a good question.
Thank you, sweetheart. Good job. You can come take a seat. Thank you. Come and sit with Miss Stewart, okay? You did a great job. Good. All right. I mean, I don't need to say anything else. They know exactly what it's all about. And so thank you, all of you, for helping me. And so you may be wondering, okay, those are great things that the kids are doing. What's the teacher up to during this time? You know, we're just hanging out. No, I'm just kidding. This is my favorite part. The kids are so engaged in their work because they are independent and they're so excited about the choice they made. We're able to pull kids one-on-one and confer. It's a great time to do, to set goals, like I said earlier, with the kids and to update their data and talk about that with the children. It's also a great time to progress monitor. During that time, we also pull strategy groups, which is different from our traditional literacy model, where you're just pulling guided reading groups based upon level. Like I showed in an earlier slide, the kids are setting goals based upon a cafe strategy. And what I'll be doing is based upon those, I'll be pulling groups of kids to help them accomplish the goal that they've set for whatever strategy they are wanting to master. And you can also pull guided reading groups during this time. So really it leaves a lot of wonderful opportunities for the teacher to meet with students during that time. And one thing that I really like about Daily 5 is, again, that routine for the kids that they get used to. You can see a picture of one of our students, Addie Catherine, here playing the xylophone. That's a signal for the kids. As soon as they hear it, they know to clean up quietly, to bring their Daily 5 folder back to the carpet and take a seat. And that's just an example. We use a Daily 5 accountability sheet in our classroom so that kids can really keep track of the choices that they're making during Daily 5. So again, I love Daily 5. I think it encourages independence and it really creates lifelong learners that are excited about making wonderful choices for their learning. And I'm just so thankful that I had a chance to come and tell you. I could talk for a million years about it, but you're always welcome to come to our classroom and experience it firsthand and really join in with the kids. So we would love to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura.